but this will allow me to take action and test for myself. I have thousands of clients at this point, hundreds of testimonials, but everybody's telling me print's dead. This will allow me to take action myself and test, do the strategies we do they work? So Steven started Acree Brothers Realty. He's Keller Williams in Lynchburg, Virginia. You guys can look him up. If you want to go to the next slide, you can see his pretty face. He's handsomer than me. He's not bigger though. He's handsome. All right, and then go to the next slide. This was our first 5 years in business. First year we did 35 deals. Second year we did 78. Third year we did 100. Fourth year we did 190. Started adding to the team. Fifth year we did 320 transactions. From doing the strategies that I'm going to share with you today. Not Reminder Media's products. I don't want you to think this is a sales pitch of our products. I'm going to talk to you about the strategies. What do you guys think this did to my doubt? It erased it.
Took it away.
It took it away. My conviction in what I teach today is so high, not just because I've seen it work for clients, because I've done it myself. Because I literally got on the phone myself and took action. And so what I found in marketing, so over the past decade, we've done over 100 million pieces of direct mail. We've done millions of Facebook advertising. We've done millions in content generation for agents, postcards, you name it, ads. We've done it all. And I have found, looking back at these campaigns, what is about the marketing campaigns that work versus the ones that fail? And I have found that the marketing campaigns that work have 3 pillars to them. And this is what I want to give you today. I want to give you these 3 pillars that you should audit your business with and see, am I doing this in my business? And because I'm a marketer, I can't help myself. I put it into an acronym. It's called FIT. You can go to the next slide. I'm going to keep Tom busy through this whole presentation. So this is FIT. It's FIT. It stands for frequency, impact, and trust. And I promise you, if you have these 3 things in your business will start to grow. I've grown Reminder Media to over $70 million in revenue, 300 employees, using this same framework. Steven's business has already closed 207 deals this year using this framework. And we have tens of thousands of clients. We'll probably work with about just under 60,000 clients this year using this type of framework. So let's start with the F, frequency. So your marketing to grow your business today as an entrepreneur, you need frequency. I chose the word frequency specifically because it has 2 meanings. It's not just the number of touches, but also the frequency, the channel of touch. If you guys came in early, you saw the slide on the screen that said 65% of all listings came from referral and repeat business. 65%. So I am definitely not the smartest. I went to community college. Like I said, I was homeschooled. I'm not the smartest, but one thing I am very good at is looking at where successful people have been and what they've done and doing R&D, ripping off and duplicating. I'm very good at that. And so if I'm you, I would be asking myself, look, if I want to be a top producer, well, where do the listings actually come from? And 65% of all listings in NAR came from referral and repeat business. So here's the gut check for you. Is 65% of your marketing effort on referral and repeat business, on relations? Is 65% of your prospecting time on referral and repeat business? So I'm not a gambler. Tom and I are going to go to Vegas this month to be at Van Mania. He's maybe going to convince me to gamble. I don't know if you're a gambler or not, but I'm not a gambler. But if you were and you went to Vegas, would you put your money down on a place that has a 65% chance of return or a place that has a 5% chance of return? I have been in this for a long time working with a lot of agents, and the number one mistake I see from them is they go out there and they chase the anonymous public over and over again. Use me as a real estate agent. It's almost like you have a pizza, and you've been given a pizza, and you take all the slices of pizza, and you go to people who don't know you, don't like you, don't trust you, and you go, here's some pizza for you. But the people that actually love you, that know, like, and trust you, you go, well, here's one sliver of pizza for you guys that you can have. And we end up not getting the referrals we want because we actually have our focus in the wrong place. My encouragement to you is you've got to get focused on your database, and you need frequency to your database. So here's my question. If you want to go to the next slides, I'm going to keep forgetting the slide thing, so it'll be a good stop. So if your marketing's out of shape, you got to get it fit. I just put this in here to wake you guys up. Nobody wants to see Homer Simpson naked. If you want to go to the next slide, frequency is number of touch points, channels of communication. Let's talk about this next question if you want to put it up on the screen. How many touch points do you think you need in order to get referrals from your database? Give me some guesses here. How many touch points in order to get referrals do you need a year to your database? We have one brave soul, 10 to 14. Any other guesses? 30. 20. Come on, crowd participation.
74.
74. All right, we're getting somewhere. All right, so I normally don't give magic formulas because they're usually not in business, but this is a magic formula, and I love Tom. I'm local to you guys. I live over in Harleysville, so I'll give you this. You guys want the magic formula touch points?
Yeah.
Dude, I mean,
Yes.
I'm not going to give it to you if you don't want it. Okay, perfect. All right, write this down. Here's the magic number. You ready? More. M-O-R-E. More. Write that down. Underscore it. I know it's not a number. Again, I was homeschooled. More. If you're doing 13, 14, you should be doing 15. If you're doing 72, you should be doing 73. If you're doing 200, you should be doing 201. Why can I say this with confidence and conviction? Think about it this way. Your closest relationship. I think about my wife, Megan. How many touch points do I have with my wife, Megan? I'm not thinking those touch points. I saw some of your faces. How many? See, Tom's laughing now. He just caught up with the joke. How many touch points? Thousands. Not enough. Yeah. Thousands. I wake up and I see her. I'm texting her all the time during the day. We're on the phone. I see her every night. Over the course of a year, my closest relationship, I have thousands of touch points with. Now, I don't want my clients to be like my wife. But with my closest relationship, I have thousands. If you think about best friends, you have tons. Like the closer the relationship, the more touch points you have. Most of us make the mistake in business. We think we can keep in touch with our database once a quarter, once a month, and then we wonder why they're not actual friends and raving fans that refer us. And if you actually look at how often you're talking to them and how often you're in touch with them, of course they're not going to refer you. You're not in touch with them nearly enough. Here's two examples. One, my brother Stephen, if you want to scroll ahead a couple slides. Here's his touch point campaign here. So over 70 touch points. He's now up to 200 touch points a year to his database. 200. And I can actually get Tom to share with you guys. We have a PDF that lays out all of his touch points so you guys can have that to utilize in how you want to actually do your touch points. He's doing over 200. He's done 207 deals this year so far. 48% of his deals will come from referrals of those 200. Go to the next slide. I'll give you an example outside of real estate. So I love marketing. So I love real estate too. I invest in real estate in the family, those type of things. But marketing is really my passion. So I've worked over 100 different industries with Remind Media: caterers, photographers, lenders, financial advisors, insurance agents. So I get a unique take to see what consumers respond to, not just what you're trying to market. This is my client, Brian Harris. He's in Annapolis, Maryland. He's top 1% in the nation in financial advisors. He manages about $1.5 billion in assets. How many touch points do you think he does? You want to go to the next screen? 200 more. I love it. We got a good student over here. I love it. 275 touch points. He's making $6 million a year for him. If you go to the next screen, it lays out his touch point plan. He sent this to me. He does 52 weekly commentary emails. He does 6 of our magazines. He does 24 workshops, 12 product events, 12 fun client events. And the list goes on. He's doing 275. Now, most of us are thinking right now what everybody thinks. Sometimes I even think it, man, that seems a lot. That seems like I'd be annoyed if somebody did that to me. But Brian Harris is making $6 million a year. How many of you guys want to make $6 million a year? Right? So he's making, that's what success looks like. He's doing 275 touches. Why does it work? If you go to the next slide, remember I chose the word frequency for a specific reason. It's not just the number, it's also the channel. Just like you get into a car and you turn to the frequency of the radio you want to listen to, the music you want to listen to, marketing is no different. There's multi-channels in marketing. There's this thing in psychology called the frequency illusion. This is something I learned from my buddy Jason Pantana. You guys know Jason. If you're not following him, you should follow him. This is amazing because I've always known omni-channel marketing, always explained it to people that you need to be everywhere. Social, email, inbox, mailbox, face-to-face. You need to be everywhere. But the frequency illusion, have you guys ever bought a car before and you see that car everywhere? Has that ever happened to you? You come to learn, why does that happen? Your brain gets about 100,000 inputs a day. You cannot successfully process them all. You have a reticulating activating system that helps you process what's important, what's not. So when you went to buy the car, or you thought about buying the car and went into your RAS system, which made it important, which made it mean that you can now see all the other cars because now it's registered up here in the RAS system. You need to be in the RAS system as a real estate agent. Why? Because 81% of sellers interview one agent before they choose that agent to sell their home. That's an AR stat. If you're not first, you're last. 81% will choose the first agent they think of. Across industries, it's about 76% of the time consumers will choose the first company they think of to purchase that product or service. If you got to go fly to Hawaii right now, which I would love to, the first airline that's popping into your mind has a 76% chance to earn your business. You've got to be first. So what does the frequency illusion state? It states that if you are seen on 2 or more frequencies, the human brain makes me think that you are more important than you actually are. I start experiencing, like, I see Tom everywhere. So you guys are seeing me on a frequency today. You're seeing me face to face. This is a frequency. If you go home tonight, my email stands out in your inbox now. These emails, reminder media is blasting you all day long because some of you guys are getting them. You're getting my emails all the time. You're tuning them out. You guys can come in. Yeah. You're tuning them out, but you're seeing me on a different frequency. So now my email frequency is going to rise. You'll see me on social tonight, and it will resonate with you more because you're seeing with me on 2 or more. See, Brian Harris, Stephen Acree, what I try to do for clients is you don't do 275 touch points of just email, of just print. No, the key is you want to do 275 touch points across multiple frequencies. There's 6 frequencies in marketing if you want to go to the next slide. You guys can write these down. Your goal should be able to get on all these frequencies. You have the email inbox, direct mailbox, face-to-face. If you want to go to the next slide. So I told you I did like 600 episodes of the podcast. Number one thing to generate leads right now coming out the last 2 years is client events. I have a QR code if you want to go to the next slide where you guys can scan this and you can get, it's kind of small. Hopefully you guys can get that. If not, I can share it with you afterwards. Yeah, this will give you a list of all these client events that we've heard over the course of the podcast. So my brother Steven just did an ice cream social for his clients. He invited his 750 in his database. He had 186 register to come. He had about 90 show up. Cost him $710. He didn't pay for it. He got the lender to pay for it. So client events, why is it so successful? Because you can call them to invite them. You can send an email to invite them. You get them to actually show up to the event, so you see them face-to-face, multiple frequencies here. You call them afterwards to thank them for coming. You send another email afterwards with pictures of the event. You get multiple touches, all surrounded by something that's non-salesy, that's value-driven. Add client events. You should also think about pop buys with your clients, or I call it cups of coffee. This guy right here, if you scroll down a little bit, Garrett Maroon, he's a client of mine in Norfolk, Hampton Roads area. He has 287 people, I believe, in his database. If you go to the next slide, 287 people. He is religious about only having the people in his database that are true relationships. He closed 88 deals from 287 people. Because his philosophy is every single one of those people is connected to 3 to 5 people a year that will need a real estate agent. And he goes, if I go deep versus wide, if I stop at the grocery store and screaming to the anonymous public, use me, and I go to the people who actually know me and say, use me, then I can get business. I'm telling you, like, if you implement multiple frequencies in your touches, you will see all of your marketing improve, because when they see you in multiple places, it makes every other place stand out. If you go again now down, so you have face-to-face, voice-to-voice. This one's my favorite. How many of you guys quarterly call your clients? Love it. Routine in here. Because most of the time when I ask that question, very few people are. If you're scared of the phone, you shouldn't be in real estate. But if you're scared of the phone, do a 5 for 5. 5 for 5 is take 5 minutes every day, pick 5 people in your database, pull out your cell phone and send them a text message. Tom, was thinking about you. Hope you're doing well. Hope you have a great day. It's been a while since we caught up. Let's grab coffee. Boom, send that text message. You would be amazed if you do that every single day for 30 days a month. You'll hit all of your core relationships with a simple text message. And what that will do is it will make your email in the inbox stand out. It will make your ad on social media stand out. And you get a personal conversation. Personal conversation, which is the key. So you have voice-to-voice, social media, text message. These are the 6 frequencies. So if you're taking away, okay, Luke, what do I apply? Bare minimum, 26 touches. Every 2 weeks you're in front. Bare minimum, 2 frequencies. That's your starting point. If you're not there, start there. If you're already there, go, how do I up it? And 26 is nothing. 1 email a month is 12. Right? Quarterly phone calls, that's 4. Like, it's not very hard to get to 26. And 26 is my bare minimum. Your goal should be to get up to 70, to 100, to 200 spread across all these frequencies. Now, remember, I said it's 3 elements to drive success, because you can be frequent with junk, and you'll have the opposite effect that you want. So you need frequency, but the I in FIT stands for impact. So if you go to the next slide, how do you get impact in marketing? So my wife was a teacher before she's a stay-at-home mom. And I love this study. There was a study done on teachers of what makes you remember your favorite high school teacher, your favorite college professor. And they did a survey to try to ask people, what made Luke your favorite teacher? And what was interesting in this data is what people didn't say. Nobody said Luke was my favorite high school teacher because he was a great lecturer. People didn't say that. People didn't say Luke was my favorite teacher because he had a PhD next to his name. That's certification. This was amazing. So your certifications are important in real estate, but it's not the reason that we're going to use it. Hint, hint. People said this: Luke was my favorite teacher because he took a personal interest in my life and where I was going. That's what made people remember their teacher. Is this a relationship business, right or right? It's a relationship business. How do you get people to remember you? How do you create impact with people? Google, Facebook, they know this. They know how they're ad companies at their heart. They're ad companies. Why do they make billions? Because they watch everything that Tom looks at. They watch and track and build a profile on everything you do, not to creep you out. But go to your Gmail, go to your privacy settings. You can look at the profile they have on you, the age they think you are, the degrees they think you have, the interests and likes they think you have. They're tracking everything you do, and then taking that and serving it up to advertisers like Reminder Media or REI or Kohl's, and going, hey, you should put an ad in front of Luke because he likes hiking. So now REI can go, because this is personal to Luke, I'm going to serve up an ad that correlates with his likes and interests. And now Luke will pay attention. If I was giving you Marketing 101 is this: relevancy. The more relevant your info is, the more people pay attention. So if I'm into hiking and you serve me up hiking information, because I'm interested in it, I pay attention. And because I pay attention, you can serve me a message. And if you serve me a message, you can do a call to action to get me to do something. The key to marketing in real estate is you've got to try to connect on a relationship-based level, not just a transactional level. Traditional real estate agents, what they do is they market their database, but you know what they send 24/7? Just listeds, just solds, market reports. How many of you guys love getting the insurance information from your insurance agent?
Everyone.
Are you an insurance agent? Sorry to be you. Think about it. I use a different industry. Let's use garage door salespeople. When they send you all the info on garage doors constantly 24/7, you love that. We all know it's obvious when it's put in another business that, oh, yeah, I do appreciate that the insurance person sends me some insurance stuff. But, when I think about insurance, when I need it.
Yeah.
The majority of my life is not about insurance, right? It's about my wife, Megan, and I. It's about our 2 kids. It's about me going to church on Sunday and then playing in the praise band. It's about me enjoying watching the football games. That's what my normal life is about. See, most of us, the reason why we vie for the leads at the bottom of the funnel is because we want instant gratification, and everybody's vying for those leads. If you want the leads when they're ready to buy, show up for them in the 99% of their life when they're not ready to buy. Every top producer, I promise you, go to them. And they will tell you, sphere of influence and referrals is the name of the game. They will tell you that. But yet all of our effort goes into the bottom of the funnel. We're trying to get the bottom of the funnel. And that you need to do, but not at the expense of your database and connecting with them. So I tell people, if you go to the next slide, there's this acronym I love. You guys hopefully know about it. It's called the FORD acronym: Family, Occupation, Recreation, Dreams. Go after this as an action item. Go to your database. You have a CRM and a client base that you have in there? Okay, if you don't, definitely get that. But you want go to your database. If Tom is in your database, ask yourself, do I know Tom's family? Do I know his occupation? Do I know his recreation, what he's into? Do I know his dreams? So, because your goal when you make your quarterly call, when you do your text message, is to find out Luke's married to his wife, Megan, that Luke has 2 kids, that Luke plays on his praise team at church, that Luke's into working out, that Luke likes football. That's your goal, because when you get that info, you have a deep relationship with somebody when you have these 4 pillars that you both know about each other. Your goal, you're not going to have this on all your clients, but your goal when you're making your calls is to get this type of info and catch up with them. And then think about dreams. You help them with one of the most important dreams. The dreams of home ownership, but even deeper, the dreams of financial success. Isn't real estate one of the best assets to actually invest in? It's one of the best things to set you up to accomplish what you want in your life. It's the biggest asset for people. So you have the opportunity to talk to them about how you can help them achieve their financial dreams. So when you talk to people about this stuff constantly, that's what gets people into a relationship with you. So think about how you use social media. Most people think of social media as pulling out your phone and doing an Instagram reel. I think of social media as this is a relationship manager. Most of you will not be influencers. And you don't even want to be. You won't be influencers. There's going to be very, very few people that are influencers. But what you can do is you can have 300 really solid followers and follow people you follow on Instagram that you DM, that you comment on their stuff, you engage with them, and you use it. It's basically these people are giving you a window into their life to connect on family, occupation, recreation, dreams. Take advantage of it. Instead of filming the next reel, spend that 30 minutes to engage with your following. And you will see dividends way more than the views you're hoping to get. But don't underestimate the views, because those are real people. But don't think of it like you're trying to be the next influencer. Think of it as a relationship manager, your social media. So you got to create impact. So impact also comes from content that you put out. So I call this the 3 E's of content, if you want to go to the next slide. So sorry, kind of, here, go up. It's this right here. I don't know why it's really small, but education, entertainment, endearment. So people ask me all the time, Luke, if I have 26 drips that I'm trying to hit people, what should I send them? And I go, education, entertainment, endearment. So most of us, we do education, but we stop there. Education is just listen to souls, market reports, what the interest rates are doing. Like KCM, they put out incredible content for education. It's that type of stuff. But where we fail is that's all we do. And the consumer goes, well, I don't really care that much. And they tune it out, and they don't pay attention to your education. You need entertainment. So our most popular email that we send for our clients is a local events email. We curate the local events happening in the area. Has nothing to do with real estate. It's the Philly Cheesesteak Festival, play at the Walnut Theater, the concert, the baseball game. We put it into an email newsletter. We brand it to the real estate agent, and we trip on the database with it. Our other popular touch point, the magazine. People tell me all the time, well, it's not filled with like market reports and stuff. That's the point. It's filled with content that consumers will love. Travel, art, food, design. It's like Better Homes and Gardens, recipes. I'm still blown away because it doesn't make sense to me because I'm not really a cook, but the recipe cards, it's ridiculous. The testimonials we get off of these recipe cards in this magazine, because people make them, they take pictures, they reach out to their agent, thank you so much. They've made the cookies and brought them to their office. Has nothing to do with real estate, but it's entertaining and it's an item of value that you're giving. And we all know reciprocity, right? When you give something to somebody, what do they want to do? They want to say thank you. They want to give in return. And so you're triggering that by going, hey, I'm going to educate you that I'm a real estate agent and I'm a person you should trust. I'm going to build my credibility, which is so important. That's going to be 60% of what you do. But I'm going to have 20 to 30% of my touches be entertaining, just giving to you. And then I say 5 to 10 to be endearing. This is my favorite campaign. We're about to do it again with Steven. Do you guys have a charity you support? Multiple. Awesome. This is phenomenal. So I grew up the son of a pastor. My dad's a pastor in Fluvanna County, Virginia, right? So he's super involved with charitable work. He's been doing that his whole life. My dad is a local influencer, knows nothing about Instagram, but he's a local influencer. Everybody knows him and he knows everybody. Partner up with a local charity. With that charity, do a campaign where you raise awareness for that charity. So my brother Steven and I, we're about to do the Agape House in Lynchburg, Virginia. It's a food bank. We're going to send out a postcard to our 4,000 person farm and our 750 database. And we're going to raise awareness by doing a food drive for this food bank. We're then going to go door knock on our people's homes and the farms' homes to collect the canned goods. We will then bring them back to the office. We'll take a picture of everything that was donated, and we'll send out a thank you to the community to let them know, here's how much was raised. Thank you so much for contributing. Every year we get multiple deals out of this campaign, but what's even better is the goodwill that is built for the brand is unbelievable. There's this thing in psychology called the halo effect. The halo effect states that when you see me doing something good, you associate that good with everything else I do in business. So when you see me giving to the Agape House, you naturally go, that's how Luke treats his clients. People want to do business with people they know, like, and trust. What we mistake about the like is we think it's purely personality-based. It's not. It's that I am like. Shared values. I want to do business with people that I am like, that have common values to me. How do I showcase my values as a business? It's through my charitable giving. How I give back. Study the Fortune 50 companies. Why do they all have charities that they support? Because they're not dumb. They're beholden to the shareholders. They want to raise the stock. But they know consumers want to do business with businesses of purpose, not just businesses of profit. How do you showcase to your database that you're a business of purpose? That it's not just about the transaction to you, it's about giving back to the community. SBCA, local girls and boys club, the PTA, your church, the food bank. You pick it. It can be your charity that you're passionate about. But get involved, because that is an impactful way for you to do an endearment campaign that will get dividends for you in goodwill, and then also will produce business for you. So that's just one of your touches. So I say 26 touches minimum, 60% educational, 20 to 30% entertaining, 10% or so endearment campaigns. Yes?
Can you just say that again slowly?
Yes, sorry. So when you look at your 26 touches that you're going to try to get to, what should you send? You got education, entertainment, endearment. 60% of that should be about education. Building your credibility as an insurance agent. Building your credibility and knowledge as a real estate agent. 20 to 30% should be entertaining. I'm not trying to sell you, not trying to get business from you. I just want to give to you. I want to entertain. I want to give you things like recipes, local events, things that you can be a part of. Invite you to my ice cream social for the client event. 10% or so is going to be endearing based upon how much you want to be involved with charity. And you advertise and support and rip on your database in that way. That will create impact, but you can't just have frequency and impact, because if you're frequent with impact, you're going to wind up with a bunch of best friends, but it doesn't mean they'll buy from you. We need people to buy from us. We need people to list with us, right? So how do you get people to use you as the realtor? That's why it's 3 elements. You need frequency, you need impact in your content that you're doing, and you need trust. So how do you build trust in business from a marketing standpoint? Because it's great that Zig Ziglar tells us you got to get known, like, and trust again, but how do I tactically build trust? There's 4 ways that I have found to build trust very successfully. One, share your accolades. Share your accolades with people. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, I just wanted you to repeat.
Yeah. Share your accolades. What are accolades? It's your resume. How many years have you been doing this? Reminder Media, we've been in business for 20 years. How many clients have you helped? Reminder Media, we've helped over 150,000 clients. In fact, if you go to the next screen, I think I put that. So, like, different accolades. 500 million marketing emails sent, 24 million views across social media, 500 podcast episodes. Showcase your accolades. Why? Because you guys don't know Luke Acree, right? So when you go to an event, what do they do when they introduce the speaker? They share accolades. Why do they do that? They're trying to build trust in the audience that, hey, you don't know this speaker, but let me prop them up real quick to get some trust built that you guys should listen. Now, these are called humble brags. So you can't do this too much. How we do it, like at Acree Brothers, at the end of the year, we'll do a big thank you as one of the ways, and we'll go, thank you to the 300 families we were able to help this year. So we disguise it in a thank you, but brag of the 300 families we were able to serve. How do we do it? At the closing table. Some people don't like this, but I think it's brilliant. Take pictures with your clients. Take them. You're humble bragging. It shows you're active. Activity makes consumers think productivity. You could be the worst agent in the world, but if you're the most active, people are going to think you're the most productive. That's not necessarily true that person's the most productive, but they think that as a consumer. So showcase your accolades, but be careful here. They're humble brags. You can do it too much. Second is people care what you think. They care way more what your clients think. Testimonials. When you go buy a product off of Amazon, what do you immediately look at? You can scroll down on the slides. Sorry, Tom.
It's all good.
Think about it. You immediately look here. What matters? Star rating matters, but volume of reviews matters. How many reviews do you have? So my brother Steven, we had a lot of reviews on Zillow and Facebook, but none on Google Business Profile because we were a little behind the game there. We started a Google Business Profile, needed reviews. So what we did is we did a pie event. We invited our database to get a pie. We were ready with our laptops out, our phones ready. Hey, would you mind giving us a Google review? We got 67 5-star reviews that day to bolster up our Google Business Profile from clients that know, like, and trust us. So if you need reviews, throw a client event and get the reviews at that event. Have your phone ready to go. We interviewed, I want to say it was Dustin Fox. He does a raffle at his events to go, hey, if you want to get another ticket, if you'd be willing to give us a review, we're giving away iPads and stuff like that. And he gets tons of reviews at all his events. So I would encourage you, get volume of reviews. It's so powerful for what your clients say about you. Brian Harris, which I showed to you guys, we have thousands of clients. I didn't know Brian personally. I was at a conference in Phoenix, Arizona at our booth. Our booth all of a sudden got a ton of people coming to it. And we're like, what the heck happened? Because it seemed to come directly to us. We found out Brian Harris was one of the speakers that day. We didn't know that. He had a slide of us on the stage speaking about his Touchpoint program and what he does, and we were one of the pillars of his Touchpoint program. And that sent so many people to our booth. Because it's powerful when Luke Acree tells you Brian Harris, he makes $6 million a year, he does 275 touches. It's a lot better if Brian walked in right now and said Luke Acree's the best. I can say I'm the best, but it's a lot more powerful when he says it. Got to get client reviews. Then third way to build trust is through partnerships. So you guys have a lot of trust in Tom, right? Come on, guys, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm getting that trust associated to me because Tom's bringing me in. Partnerships. You need your 6 degrees of separation of partnerships. Who is synergistic to you? Insurance, financial advising. Here's a great one, divorce attorneys. How many of you guys have a partnership with divorce attorneys? You get a 2-for-1, if not a 3-for-1. 60% or so of people who get divorced have to sell and buy. People love the magazine because they go and they feature the divorce attorney on the back cover of the magazine for the ones that's in their office. They give a stack of them to the divorce attorney to be able to hand out to the agent. To the people that are coming in. So it's like, who are your partnerships? Here's another great one for you. Brian Quigley, here local, Keller Williams, Bluebell, I believe is where his office is. He's partnered up with the elder care attorneys. He's going to kill me for sharing this secret. Sorry, Brian. Love you. Elder care attorneys in assisted living communities. The senior population, people turning 65 right now, one of our biggest client bases is Medicare insurance agents. It is booming right now. 12 to like 15,000 people are turning 65 a day. Who knows the seniors that need to downsize, that want to move into the assisted living community before you do? The assisted living community. A lot of them around here have a waiting list. One of the ones that Brian's working with has 365 people on a waiting list to get into this assisted living community. He's closed 39 deals this year alone from referrals from those elder care attorneys and assisted living communities. And he gets even, you know what he's done? So he's built a relationship with them. That's his partnership. He's building trust. Now he's doing seminars at the assisted living facilities. He had 80 people in his last seminar, $40 million in volume sitting in that room at a conservative estimate. This trajectory of people turning 65 is going to run for the next 20 years. So if I were you, I would really focus on the senior market because there's a lot of opportunity there. So I get a little sidetracked, sorry. But the point is, your partnerships, do you have them? Who's the lender? Who's the insurance agent? Who's the home security company? Who's the divorce attorney? Elder care attorney? Create your own little B&I network. Here's the mistake most people make. This is what I coach all the time with our magazine, is most of us go to the estate planning attorney and go, let's refer each other. And that guy goes, absolutely, and then they never refer. Because why? Think of Gary Vee. You got to give before you take. You're going with a take mentality. So what I teach people to do is take our magazine. Go to the estate planning attorney and go, hey, love what you do. I try to bring the very best businesses in the area in front of my clients. I'd love to feature you on my magazine. That's it. I'm not asking you for anything. I just love to give to you. Now, what do you think that person's going to want? They're going to want a copy of the magazine. Where do you think they're going to keep it? They're going to keep it in their office. Next time I come, I go, hey, would you want to, I'm going to send again. Do you want to send some of these to your database? Because I'm sending some to mine. All of a sudden, I get pollination of databases. Then the third time I go, hey, we could reach more people if we chip in together. Would you want to chip in? So all of a sudden, you're building a natural network where all of you should have your own little B&I network that you're referring to each other, but you got to give to them before you take. How do you do it? You don't have to do it with magazine. You can do it with social. I think it was Sharon from Reel gave the great tip of go live every Friday and invite that other, like you should go live with one of the agents in the room. When you go live on your Instagram and Facebook, it notifies all your people. Have you guys gotten notified of lives? So when I invite Tom onto my live, guess who else gets notified? All of Tom's following. So I go live, my following gets notified that Luke Acree's live. I bring Tom on, Tom's following gets notified. Those people follow Tom because they know, like, and trust Tom. They don't know Luke. So when Tom comes on my live and they come on because Tom notified them, I get the natural association of trust and I can build my social. Because every Friday I'm going live with another business and I get to reach their followers and they get to reach my followers and help cross-pollinate that trust. So 3 ways to build trust so far. Showcase your experience, which is your accolades, your awards, how long you've been in business, those type of things. How many of you are new agents? Any new? Okay, you're thinking, Luke, I haven't sold any homes. I haven't been in business very long. How long have you been in business now?
23 years.
23 years. How many clients have you guys served? You know?
Thousands.
Thousands. Use the royal we. When I get people on with Reminder Media as new salespeople, they haven't coached thousands of agents, but we have. They haven't been in business 20 years, but we have. Use the royal we. You join this brokerage for a reason. Take advantage of it. They back you. You're with them. You're a team. So you can present to people, this is what we have done in the community. For showcasing your accolades. Showcase customer testimonials, showcase partnerships. Last but not least, this is the hardest one to do, and I'm going to close with this. You got to put out educational content consistently. Educational content consistently. I remember I said 60% of your 26 needs to be educational content. The way you build trust is you got to be the SME, the subject matter expert. If you want to go down, I forgot about the slides, but the subject matter expert. You got to be the subject matter expert, which means people got to see you in real estate as synonymous. So I'll give you an example if you go to the next slide for me. Because everything I'm teaching you today, I have no idea if it's the perfect way to do marketing and grow a business. But here's what I do know. I've built my media this way. I work with tens of thousands of clients. If this is what we're doing, it seems to be working. I put out a podcast, Stay Paid. Started doing this 7 years ago, like I said. Every Monday and Thursday. Educational content on what? The subject matter that I want to be known for, sales and marketing. And as I do that consistently for 3 years, we did this and nobody listened. From a family of 8 kids, like I said, I don't think any of my siblings listened. Maybe one, maybe my mom, because she loves us. But nobody listened. But I put them out for 3 years. Most people stop 3 weeks in. There's this thing called pod fade, where 90% of all podcasts stop after 10 episodes. But we did it for 3 years with no success. And then it started taking off. And all of a sudden, we started getting in the top 30 of Apple Marketing Podcasts. We hit as high as number 6. It actually became my #1 brand builder. It's how I've gotten to know Tom from getting him on the podcast. It's how I've gotten to know Tom Ferry. It's how I've gotten to know, you guys don't know of Cody Askins, but he's a huge player in the insurance space. It's been my biggest brand and relationship builder. It's one of our biggest lead generators. It's gotten me speaking at Bam Mania in Vegas. All these things from putting out educational content consistently, but it took 3 years. No listeners. 3 years, like no listeners. Over and over and over again. So it took that consistency. But here's the thing. We don't just do it on The podcast channels, we take the podcast, slice it up, put it on YouTube. We take it, we write an email, we send it through the email frequency. We take it, we write articles, we put it into a magazine called Business in Action. I send out tens of thousands of this Business in Action magazine to real estate agents and brokerages all over the country. I'm utilizing my same philosophy of I'm doing educational content consistently to build me up as a credible figure in the real estate industry. You have to do that for your consumers. Now, here's the problem, and I'll close with this. Most of us don't get on camera, don't get out there and do the podcast, don't get ourselves, put ourselves out there, because maybe you've experienced where you film yourself, you don't like the way you look. Anybody experience that? You don't like the way you look, you don't like the way you sound. I hate to break it to you, that's how you look. That's how you sound. I close with that. No, I'm just kidding. That is the way you look. That's the way you sound. But I'm going to liberate you. Nobody cares. Your clients don't care. You know why? Because they care about how they look. When the family picture is taken, everybody zooms into them. They don't zoom into you. They zoom into them. They don't care. They're thinking about how they look. And the ones that do care, like Lou Holt says, the 5%, 10% that do care, you don't want them as clients anyways. Get them out of your ecosystem. I didn't want to get on TikTok because I thought it was a dancing platform, and I'm kind of a white boy and I can't dance. Literally, I cannot dance. I didn't want to get on TikTok. I avoided it. It was on every other social media channel. But Luke, you got to get on TikTok. So I get on TikTok. It's the one place we actually started to go viral. Of all the channels we had been on, all the stuff we had put out for years and years and years, our first viral stuff was on TikTok. And what was so crazy is the first video that I did that went viral was the 8x8 fake agent campaign. You guys can watch it on my Instagram now. And I sold so many postcard 8x8 campaigns from this thing going viral. And I thought to myself, my gosh, you almost didn't get on TikTok because you were embarrassed. And it reminded me that you have to have a goal that is bigger than your embarrassment. You have to have something that drives you to be willing to put yourself out there. My goal is bigger than my embarrassment, so I'm willing to get on TikTok and dance. You're going to see some crazy stuff on there. Not really. I dance a little bit. It's not a dancing platform. It's a great platform. I was naive. So I share with you as I close, just going, look, I've given you 3 elements and a ton of different action items. Walk away from here and go, do I have frequency in my marketing? Do I have at least 26 touch points on at least 2 or more channels? Walk away from here and go, how am I connecting with my database personally? These points that I send in, are they all real estate transaction related? Or am I connecting on a relationship level? Doing things like the 5 for 5 every day. Doing things where I send out a recipe card or send out a local events thing, not just listed, just sold. And am I showcasing my accolades, testimonials? Am I showcasing partnerships? Am I showcasing to people my educational content? Do those 3 things and you'll win. I know you will. And the key comes down to how I started. Are you willing to do a podcast for 3 years with no listeners? Are you willing to call 300,000 a day and close no deals? I had Jocko Willenick, I think is how you pronounce his last name. He wrote the book Extreme Ownership. I had him come into our company during the pandemic when everything felt like it was the end of the world. And one of the things that he said that stuck with me is he looked at the sales team and he goes, sales team, some days you're going to come in, you're going to feel it, you're going to want to get on, want to talk to agents, you're going to want to tell them to pull over and get this started, you're going to want to close deals. Good. Get on the phone, start dialing. And he said, sales team, some days you're not going to want to talk to another human being, you hate the industry, you hate your life, you don't want to pick up the phone, you don't want to dial. Good. Pick up the phone, start dialing. Do it anyways. Because the separator between people who win and people who lose is the winners do not let their emotion dictate their discipline. You have to be consistent. Your emotion's going like this because something's going on in your life. Something's happening with your family. Something's happening with your marriage. It's not going right. Your bank account's low. Your discipline is locked in. That's the separator. And the reason why people quit is because you don't know when you're going to win. That's the problem. It's like working out. I know if you eat broccoli and you eat, good food and you go to the gym every day, you will eventually get muscle. I just don't know when you'll get it. I don't know. For you, it might be 3 weeks in. For you, it might take 3 months. I don't know. But I know if you eat healthy and you go to the gym, one day you'll be standing in front of that mirror and you will look the way you want to look and you will see the change. But what happens to most people is they eat broccoli and chicken, they go to the gym, and 3 weeks in, they're like, I haven't seen any change, I quit. How stupid is that? That's why people lose. I am telling you, it's simple. This is stuff you've heard before. Frequency, impact, trust. But how many of you are giving up 3 weeks in? How many of you are not even taking action? You know this to be true. Go do it. Because you can change your life. And you can, as Tom Ferry likes to say, you can live a life by design. And not a life where you're just dictated by whatever comes your way. Be intentional about your life. So I'll stop there, answer any questions, but I appreciate you guys so much.
Who's got questions for Luke? Anybody? He answered it all? Solved all your problems?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Will you give me an autograph?
Oh gosh, it won't be worth anything, but I definitely will, man.
Hey, social media.
Social media.
How do you go from a negative mindset to a positive mindset?
Oh, that's a great question. For me, because I can only speak for me, the way I have done it in my life and try to continue to do it is you're a product of your environment. So you've heard the saying, you can plant a flower in the desert and it dies, and a flower in good soil it blossoms. So the first thing I look at when you have a negative environment or a negative mindset is, what is your environment? Who are you surrounding yourself with? People always talk about you're the sum of the 6 people you surround yourself with, but they don't tell you sometimes you got to cut people out of your life.
Yeah.
And there's some people in your life that you might have to walk away from, that you might have to cut out. Doesn't mean you're mean to them. It means you don't give them access. And so I would challenge you to look at, what are you listening to? What are you reading? What are you watching? Who are you hanging around? That shapes how you think shapes how you talk shapes how you act shapes your habits define your character is who you are. And so when I think about negative mindset, I go, who am I surrounding myself with? Am I feeding my